and the moon is out. Few days, I think we're gonna do some really yummy recipes because I really want to make like a cake or caramels or something like that. And maybe we'll go fishing in the snow. If not fishing, we'll just explore the really beautiful snowy trails and forests here. It is time to head out, and I'm just making sure I'm warm enough. So one of my tips is light layers. Don't just throw on a really heavy jacket, you're gonna get too hot in. So I'll wear a pullover fleece over top of like just my basic outfit, then a double layered really comfy hoodie over that, and then a nice sweater scarf over that, but not one that's itchy, something that's just very lightweight but still warm. This one's from Indigo Luna, and I like that it doesn't aggravate my neck at all. And yeah, that's about it. And then of course lip balm, because whenever I go out shopping or like book shopping or anything, I lick and bite my lips the entire time, especially because I'm nervous for the store clerk to talk to me. Like, I don't know, I just get nervous and I lick my lips, and then by the end of the day my lips are gone and peeling. I've chewed them off. So that's how it is. damage at the art store, which I don't feel that bad about because it's arts and crafts. It's fun. But I've never been to this one before, and I love the nib that you sent in a little crinkly bag. I really do. So, first off, I brought a watercolor set here, but I had no watercolor brushes, so I couldn't really use it yet. So I picked up just a couple pretty nice ones, but also kind of basic at the same time. I love a tiny brush, so I got a couple. This is just sort of like a little detail one. It is a white talcum, the 10-0, and then I got a liner. This is a gold sable number 1, and as you can see, it's a really fine liner brush. I love doing tiny little paintings whenever I do paint, so I need small brushes. But then I got one big one because I don't have a big brush, and I wanted something that I could do flower petals with and leaves, so that shape is really nice. And this is a Kazan 1/4 gold filbert. There's a lot of names on these, but yeah, those are really pretty. I really like that. These two are like a mahogany brown, and this one's purple. And then I got, to go along with my tiny watercolor theme, I got a tiny little watercolor pad. And what I really liked about this one is the paper is super fine and not very gritty or grainy or textured. I noticed a lot of watercolor paper, or the ones I've used, have a ton of texture to them, and I don't really like that. I don't like seeing it through the ink or the paint or whatever. But also, this is like pre-stretched basically, so you paint on it and then you actually have to cut your piece of paper out of the block after. So I had to pick up a little like X-Acto knife blade. I ended up just going to Canadian Tire for that because I forgot it when I was at the art store. So that'll be really fun, and I feel like that's just the perfect size for me. I just picked up a couple of these. This is one of those little pencil blending things. I forget what they're called, but I remember using them in high school, and I thought they were just so fun and like magical, because any harsh line in pencil, you can just shade it and smudge it so seamlessly, and I've never seen them so chunky. So I really wanted that. It was only a couple dollars, so I was like, hey, I'll get it. And then, this is a little trick I heard from an artist before, that a lot of times you see really bright highlights in a watercolor painting after, but it's extremely hard to keep those in a painting, especially with watercolor, because it just kind of flows everywhere. So after, a lot of people will go in with a white gel pen or just a white pen of some kind, and I got this one by Unival. It's the Signo, and I like swatched it on my hand, and it really does show up like pure white and not streaky at all. So that'll be really fun to use. I've been online before and wanted to try them so bad. They're called Distressing Inks. This is in the shade Vintage Photo, and they're like a little ink sponge pad that you can, I really love stamps, so you can use that in there, but you can also put it around the edges of paper, and I wanted to do it around the edges of even some watercolors to make it look like an old photograph. I love anything that looks old and worn out so much more than if it looks new, so I was really excited about that. I asked the lady at the store, I was like, could I just use like a watercolor brush in there? She said no, that you'd have to get little like sponge things. So these are just like little finger sponges that you put in there and then smear it just around the edges of your paper. But I'm so excited about that. And then lastly, the last craft we have in mind, I've wanted to make something with clay for so long. I have some weird like air dry clay at home, but I haven't used it yet, and it's been sitting in my cupboard for like 2 years. But I saw these ones, and they're called Sculpey Primo, so they're an oven-baked clay rather than an air-dry clay, because I think air-dry takes a really, really long time, and that's kind of why I've avoided using it. Whereas these are done in, I think, like 30 minutes in your oven. And this one, it's called Opal, I believe is the color, which is my birthstone. But it looked like just like this translucent, fleshy dragon's egg color, and I was just obsessed with it when I saw it. And they were only a few dollars, they weren't that much. And then this one was a super duper light milky green, but it's glow in the dark. I don't know what I'm gonna make yet. I've always thought, okay, maybe an incense holder or a ring holder or something small. I got this really, really pretty little claw clip because I've been wearing like the same claw clip over and over, and sometimes I just misplace it and then can't find it. Ones like satin roses on each side. They almost look like satin peonies. You can see, yeah, this claw clip is massive and still my hair like flops out of it. So I'll see if I just do a little half up with this. Let's see. What do we think? It might be one of those things that looks better with curled hair that has some wave in it, because I just washed my hair and let it air dry yesterday. Even though it's all fallen out of there. This is not a good judge. That is so good. My first step in skincare, I always do a hot cloth over my face because it just feels amazing, but also it just melts everything. Now that the majority of it is melted off, I will take a cleansing oil. You can use any oil you like. I've been just using this pharmacy one recently. I like that it has like a little scooper, but I mostly just like that it's a thin enough oil. A lot of the cleansing balms that are really thick, I find they clog my pores, so I've been liking something that's super thin, and also the thinner ones take off mascara a lot better. I will say my nose definitely feels softer because I have those kind of clogged pores that you sort of like feel the little bumps when you run your hands over it, and it definitely feels smoothed out a bit. Use this fancy of a moisturizer every single night, but I have really been liking this one. I'm going to take this Drunk Elephant F-Balm, which is just like a really thick skincare balm you can put over all your moisturizers and kind of lock them in. Alrighty, I think we are ready for bed.